Patriots. Thank you for tuning in to this week's Mason Cable News broadcast. I'm Alexis Whitted.
And I'm Bria Lloyd.
So, Bria, what are your plans for spring break?
Well, I'm going to New York City for a few days, and then I'll be back here. What about you?
I'm going to New Orleans for half of the week, and then going home, relaxing, gonna apply for some internships. Yeah.
Sounds very fun.
President Trump signed a newly revised executive order regarding refugees and traveling on Monday, downsizing and revoking his previous ban last month. Iraq was removed from the 7 original countries banned, while reinstating a ban of those who do not have a visa from Sudan, Syria, Iran, Libya, Somalia, and Yemen. The order also clarifies the exception of legal permanent residents and current visa holders, some of which were detained at airports from the previous ban. While indefinitely banned under the initial order, resettlement of Syrian refugees will now be treated equally with resettlements of refugees from other countries. The previous ban was more significant in its closing of refugee settlements for a longer period of time. The previous order became a rallying cry for citizens to rally at airports across the nation, standing in solidarity with those barred from the country. Congressional Republicans are generally supportive of the new executive order, with Speaker of the House Paul Ryan stating the executive order advances our shared goal of protecting the United States. Most congressional Democrats are against the ban, calling it the Muslim Ban 2.0 and re-energizing the discrimination from the first order. The executive order will take effect next Thursday, March 16th.
On Monday, the Supreme Court remanded a case regarding transgender identity and the bathroom use back to the U.S. Court of Appeals of the Fourth Circuit. The case was centered around Gavin Grimm, a Virginian transgender teenager fighting for the right to use the boy bathroom at his high school. The Fourth Circuit had used the Obama administration's position on transgender student rights when it had sided with Grimm in his battle against Gloucester County School Board. Now, with the different administration and the changing federal positions, the Supreme Court said that the appeals court must reconsider the case and makes the case unlikely to be heard by the High Court for this term.
According to a report by the Education Trust, George Mason University has been named one of the nation's best universities for graduating black students at the same rate as whites. The study looked at 676 traditional public and private nonprofit institutions, of which George Mason was listed among 18 top-performing institutions with a graduation rate for black students just 0.3% behind that of whites. Mason President Angel Cabrera was quoted saying, "We take pride in the fact that there is no disparity among our students regardless of race, ethnicity, or socioeconomic status. Congratulations, Mason, as we hope to keep up the stellar work."
There will be a grad fair at Mason this week from March 7th until March 9th. It will take place in the Johnson Center and will provide you with a one-stop shop for all of your graduation needs. It is sponsored by the University Bookstore, and you can purchase caps, gowns, cords, and announcements, and also rings. A photographer will be available to have a photo taken in your cap and gown. You may pick up commencement information packets during the grad fair.
The HIV/AIDS Awareness Fashion Show occurred this past Friday at the Center for the Arts. Here's Angelique Arentalk covering the event.
Last Friday, March 3rd, 2017, the HIV/AIDS Awareness Fashion Show with the theme of transformation occurred at the Center for the Arts. This fashionable and glamorous event brought HIV/AIDS awareness to both the Mason and Fairfax communities.
HIV/AIDS Fashion Show, it raises awareness for AIDS and HIV, and it's put on by PAC, the Patriot Activities Council. Here at Mason, we've been practicing since November, so it's been a really long process, but we're excited to finally get the show on the road.
We're showing the motions people go through when they find out they have HIV or AIDS, which is a very deadly disease, as many of you may know. The reason why I personally wanted to join it is because I love modeling, I love fashion, I love everything. Back home, I used to go on photo shoots, and I love fashion, and I've always wanted to do something like runway. Also, it's for a good cause. I believe everyone should know about HIV and AIDS, and it has a lot of useful information that you'll see throughout the show.
I think the emotions behind HIV is often overlooked, more so for the biological effects that happen. And now it's actually me producing it figuring out everything that goes into it. So it's really stressful, but it's also really rewarding to work with the models. They have awesome personalities.
The show was also a collaboration with Paul Mitchell Makeup and Hairstyling, as well as a clothing sponsorship by Plato's Closet in Fairfax, Virginia.
What I wanted to do about the scenes in terms of denial, I wanted to portray like a metaphor of that stage, a person going through that. So we incorporated the camouflage print as a metaphor for that. And then in terms of anger, we did the darker shades like red and black. And then for sadness, of course, the blues, because we're feeling blue and sad.
It's actually my first semester here at Mason, and it was just a great collaboration working at Plato's and Mason, just because I love the two places.
This year's fashion show was a tremendous success. We hope this is an annual tradition to be upheld for the many more years to come here at George Mason. This has been Angelique Arentalk with Mason Cable News.
After a mistaken envelope handling, Moonlight won for Best Picture for the 2017 Oscars. Mason will have the opportunity to see the movie, which will take place on Thursday, April 13th at 4:30 in Johnson Center, Room 3. Don't forget to mark your calendars. Moonlight traces the journey of young Chiron making his way through life in Miami. The film also received Best Actor in the Supporting Role for Mahershala Ali and Best Adapted Screenplay. The event is sponsored by LGBTQ Resources, Film and Media Studies, Film and Video Studies, the Office of Diversity, Inclusion, and Multicultural Education, African American Studies, and the University Libraries.
A professor of Mason has returned to the classroom after 2 years of helping the State Department understand religion and ISIS. Professor Peter Mondeville was a senior advisor in the Office of Religion and Global Affairs, established under the Obama administration and former Secretary of State John Kerry to develop initiatives and policies in engaging with religious leaders who might be influential in the war on terrorism. Working in around the clock, Professor Mondeville helped develop projects and initiatives to address tensions in Iraq, along with working with other State Department officers in using religion to counter violent extremism. He is now able to come back to the Schar School of Policy and Government at Mason and use his new experience in the federal government directly in his 2 undergraduate classes. Mondeville has taught at Mason since 2000.
Take a Patriot to Work Day is almost here. Come shadow a participating employer for a day and learn what it's really like to work in your career of interest or passion. The 2-day session will be available for employers to register. The event will be this Friday, March 10th, and next Monday, March 13th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Locations and time will vary based on placement. Be sure to check out careers.gmu.edu to get involved with the event. Stay tuned for the sports report after Freshman's Corner about spring break plans. Also, stick around for On the Couch and our roundtable discussion on the protesting the national anthem. You're watching Mason Cable News.
Welcome to this week's segment of Freshman's Corner. I'm your host, Cody Borden. This week, we went outside of the JC to talk to freshmen about their upcoming spring break plans. How is your semester going so far?
Pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
Midterms going all right?
So far, yeah.
My semester's going really well. I mean, it's a bit stressful, but it always is. But, you know, spring break soon, so I'm excited.
My semester's going a little up and down, but need a break coming up. So spring break, very looking forward to it.
What are your spring break plans?
Okay, so I'm not from around here, so I'm planning to kind of tour around Virginia to kind of get a feel and the vibe of it. So maybe for a couple of days I might head down or over to Virginia Beach.
I'm staying in town. I live 15 minutes away, so I'm not doing anything special. Staying in town, and that's about it.
Okay, if you could go anywhere for spring break, where would you go and who would you take?
We would go backpacking through Europe together.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I could take anybody, it would probably be like a celebrity, somebody cool. So anybody? Probably LeBron James. I kind of love LeBron, so
awesome.
if you wanted to go to the Galapagos with me, that'd be pretty cool. So,
what's your you're going to a spring break party, you're having fun. What's your go-to spring break party song?
Ooh, lately the song Ed Sheeran, "Shape of You" has been on my mind.
That's a good song.
I know, right?
Anything Bruno is my spring break.
So, do you have any cool talents or something you could just do on the spot right here?
안녕하세요. 저는 린이에요. 저는 GMU 학생이에요. GMU Vietnam Sa Da Mio. So basically what it says, hello, my name is Lynn. I am a GMU student. I am a Vietnamese person.
Noam S. Kewinos.
Oh my goodness, Kevin can speak Latin, everybody.
I mean, like, break down the Dougie or something?
Yes.
I mean, that's about it.
That'll do it for this week's segment of Freshman's Corner. I'm your host, Cody Borden. Here's hoping that everyone has a safe and happy spring break.
Hello, Mason Nation. Welcome back to another amazing week with me, Gina Jerome, on the couch. I'm very excited to be your source for entertainment news nationally, as well as in the DMV and GMU area. So now let's move on to our very first story. Chrissy Teigen covered the April issue of Glamour, and inside she makes an admission in her essay that she suffers from postpartum depression. Yes, she is the same star who's always smiling and gushing about her daughter Luna, but she admits that on the inside she was struggling. At first, the Sports Illustrated model chalked up her unhappiness to just living in a hotel while her home was being renovated, but even after that, she moved into her family home and still something wasn't right. The happy-go-lucky lip-sync battle star started to snap at everyone, and even those she was closest to. Usually she ended up in tears, but what surprised Teigen the most, however, was that with all the help she was lucky to have, she still became a statistic and developed postpartum depression like many women do. She says some days are still tough, but she keeps on pushing through. And I wish her the absolute best. Also in Hollywoodland, this one goes out to all my Bachelor fans. Nick Vile's time as the star of The Bachelor is drawing to a close, but before he puts a ring on some lucky lady's finger, he had to make it through 3 nights in a finished fantasy suite. Also on Monday was Women Tell All, and Nick's castaways gathered for one giant televised tea-spilling session, and it was glorious. One super entertaining highlight of the night had to be Taylor and Corinne. Props to Chris Harrison for trying to mediate between these two, but it just wasn't going to happen. They went back and forth pretty much the entire episode, and though Taylor certainly seemed more upset than Corinne, she even begged Corinne to apologize for shaming her profession as a mental health counselor, explaining that Corinne's insults have had a direct impact on her life and career. But seriously, shout out to ABC for the blooper reel. It was truly the gift the entire night that kept on giving. And now on Mason News. Step into the era of brassy big band sounds as the Metropolitan Jazz Orchestra teams up the dynamic vocal jazz quartet New York Voices for this very special performance. On Friday, March 11th at 8 p.m., musical director and alto sax virtuoso Jim Carroll leads this jazz orchestra composed of the metro area's best jazz musicians. Like I always say, if you're looking for a fun night out, then this is a little out of the box, and put on your best dress shoes and go to the Center for the Arts and purchase your ticket. Remember, 2 tickets are available with a valid Mason ID. Well, spring break is next week and only 2 days away, so let's try to get through this week and ace our remaining midterms with flying colors. This has been absolutely great bringing you infotainment, my fellow patriots. Well, this has been Gina Jerome with you on the couch, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at GinaJuju and tweet me at Najina_J. Thanks, Mason. Have a great day.
Hello Patriots, I'm Lexi Hodgson and this is your sports for the week. Mason honored seniors last Wednesday at the men's basketball game against Duquesne. Here's a quick highlight of the game.
Hello Patriots, I'm Lexi Hodgson here inside Eagle Bank Arena where the George Mason Patriots are welcoming the Duquesne Dukes in just the 11th matchup between these two teams. This game is particularly important because it is the last regular season game here inside Eagle Bank, which means we are honoring our 3 seniors, Miles Tate, Jalen Jenkins, and Marquise Moore, celebrating their accomplishments and achievements here inside Eagle Bank as their time as Patriots. Like I said, this is the 11th meeting between the two teams. Last season, these two teams played. The Dukes defeated the Patriots with a score of 86-75. That game was also moved up a day and played at the Rack because of the winter storm that we saw in Northern Virginia in January. But this is a different season. The George Mason Patriots are ranked in the top 10, the most improved in the country. And they have also beat their personal record in the A10 wins column with 8 this year. So this is an important game and an A10 matchup for the Patriots. Okay, we're here at halftime, and the Patriots are leading 30-27, and I found a GMU dad and a Duquesne alum. So who do you want to see win tonight?
Well, since I have split feelings on this, I rooted for Duquesne in the first half. I'm rooting for Mason in the second half. So with a 3-point lead, Mason.
All right, sounds like a good plan. Thank you. I'm here with Mason alum Andrew, and I just want to know, Andrew, what is your favorite memory of one of the 3 seniors here tonight?
Well, definitely one of the seniors is my girlfriend of over 2 years, and so I met her in 2013, and she's graduating in May, and I couldn't be more proud of her. She was there my senior night, I'm here her senior night, so I think it's just a pretty fair trade-off. Well, she's in the green machine, but we're watching basketball.
No, all seniors, they all count. That's awesome. Congratulations for you guys, and congratulations to her. And thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So I am here with Sue Reed, who is the boosters for the Green Machine, the band out there, and she's going to tell us a little bit about it and these little buttons that we get.
Actually, I'm just one of the boosters. One of the most famous boosters are the Hanks here, and they've been in charge of bringing bobbleheads and plushies, Doc plushies, to everyone in support of the Green Machine. Best pep band in the NCAA. Very special. We want to do everything we can and support and rock with Doc.
Nice. I love it. I love it. These buttons are so cute. Make sure you stop by. Are you guys here every game?
Every game.
Awesome. With the buttons and little goodies?
And we give the buttons out, and then we're looking for support. We're looking for donations to support the Green Machine. Got to get the Green Machine traveling to Pittsburgh with the band.
Yes, Green Machine, the best one. So make sure you stop by their booth when you come to Eagle Bank and get these buttons and support them as much as you can. Thank you so much.
Oh, certainly. Go Patriots.
The men's basketball team claimed the number 7 seed and will face Fordham on Thursday in Pittsburgh in the A10 tournament. The game is scheduled for 6 p.m. in PPG Paints Arena, and this game will be broadcasted nationally on NBC Sports Network. Congratulations, Patriots, and good luck. The women's softball team had a tough weekend at the Patriot Classic. One poor inning got the best of the Patriots in both games, losing by a score of 3-0. Mason had 5 runners in scoring position over the course of 2 days, including bases loaded with 2 outs in the 4th inning against Fairfield. Mason will look ahead to their next matchup, welcoming NC State this Tuesday at 5 p.m. The men's baseball team took on Marist this past weekend. The game on Saturday was a thriller as the Patriots built a 5-0 run lead over Marist and held on for a 10-9 win. Junior Michael Smith led off the game with a double to shallow center, moved to third on a wild pitch, and then scored on a balk to put the Patriots up 1-0. The Patriots have scored the first run in 7 of their first 10 games this season. Mason collected 3 straight one-out hits in the 4th to take a 3-1 lead. Unfortunately, the game on Sunday did not go as well for the Patriots as they fell behind in the first inning and dropped the final game 4-1. The Patriots will look to turn it around as they face Radford in a 2-game series on Tuesday and Wednesday, both games beginning at 2:30 p.m. And the men's volleyball team had a successful weekend, going 2-0 against McKendree and Coker. The Patriots were more successful offensively this weekend than last. On Saturday, 3 Patriots recorded double digits offensively, 2 of them setting new career highs. Senior opposite hitter Jack Wilson put in a high match performance with 17 kills. The team is heading out west to face 3 ranked teams in the Active Ankle Classic. They will face number 2 Long Beach State, 12 Cal State Northridge, and number 14 USC in Los Angeles. Congratulations on a successful weekend and good luck next week. That's it for sports. For more information on upcoming games and post-game reports, visit gomason.com, and good luck to any teams playing this week. A new policy has been added to the United States Soccer Federation bylaws in which players shall stand respectfully during playing of the national anthem at any event in which the Federation is represented. New Policy 604-1 was passed by the Board of Directors on February 9, 2017. This came after protests from women's national team member Megan Rapinoe last year and multiple football players such as Colin Kaepernick kneeling during the national anthem. Those who kneel say that they are expressing their First Amendment right along with getting media attention towards the injustices America faces. Those against the kneel are likely for the policy, tend to argue there are better, more appropriate areas to protest than during a national anthem and being disrespectful towards the United States tradition in general. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Okay, well, I would say, like you said, like, it is, like, you're right, and I feel like, I mean, you should be able to, but they're suggesting that that there's other ways, and I feel like this is so peaceful and harmless that I don't see why you would want to protest in any other way.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also do realize that they're, like, a private company, and they get to make the rules, which is, like, unfortunate for those soccer players that, want to kneel to just show how they feel. But I also feel like as Americans, when we stand because we want to, and there's almost like an authoritarian feel to like making us stand, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and I agree with you, especially the private organization part. They're allowed to make this rule. That's the difference with the Colin Kaepernick situation. They can't. It was their choice to let him do that. But I do think that this is great. I think that the Soccer Federation really took a stand on this before it got out of hand. But I only say that because Megan Rapinoe was wearing the United States soccer uniform. She accepted the position to be on the United States team. She could have declined if she wanted to, but she accepted. True. So whenever you wear that uniform, you represent the United States of America, and I find it kind of contradicting to be on the team and to kneel during the playing of the national anthem.
There are just a lot of, like, I feel like I agree with multiple, like,
both sides.
It's really complicated.
So. I definitely agree with that as well. Well, thank you for tuning in, Patriots. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Mason Cable News. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Mason Cable Network, and keep up with the latest news on and off campus. I'm Bria Lloyd.
I'm Alexis Whitted.
And I'm Lexi Hodgson. We hope you have a great spring break.